in Rwanda, so and they hadn't seen each other for so long. So what? Almost 2 years now. Your wedding? He's been here in the United States in school. Yohani is the younger brother. I can just introduce them a little bit. He's the younger brother and was kind of the initiator of the vision in the heart. He went to undergrad school in a small Catholic school in Pittsburgh called La Roche College. And it's through those relationships and knowing different people connected my heart with them. I got to meet him. We became friends, and I began to hear the vision that God had placed on his heart. So he's the instigator, and God really ultimately is the instigator of all this. But he had even, I mean, I don't, he had dreams when he was younger, even, that God gave him of doing these type of things. So this is a lifelong thing. And JP, older brother, but willing servant and helper. He is our Rwandan director of the home. He's been now to the United States. This is his second time. And in shock that our trees will actually come alive. He still actually doesn't believe fully. He pretty much assures me that a lot of them have to be dead somewhere along the line. So we'll have to send him pictures of green grass and corn growing in the fields and the trees sprouting. But so I'd turn it over to you guys and just maybe you give a little bit of background or what we're doing there.
Well, thank you very much for coming here. It's very encouraging, and it's an honor for us to be here actually talking to you about the Umuryango. I think maybe I just give you a little quick background about how the vision started and where we think we're going. So, like Bruce said, that this is something that I always have. When I was still very, very young, I had dreams, and there are so many things that sometimes I don't share with people because they think, oh, it's because you've seen them happening, and now you think you've seen them when you were young. And there are so many things that are happening to me, to my family now, that I started seeing when I was around 10 years old. And the reason I think that was God revealing himself to me is because I didn't really write them anywhere, but I still remember them as if it happened yesterday. But anyways, basically, when we started Umuryango, it's not because we thought it was a cool idea or something really nice to do. It's something that will make sense to anybody that's making a direct impact into the lives of children. But that's not why we started it. We started it because we felt God's call to do this. I remember the first time I always carried the burden for the kids, for the kids that are suffering since I was a child. But then once I got this prophecy that about the orphanage, and a few days later I went to the mission trip in Mexico and pastor I didn't speak Spanish. He called me from the back of the big room, and he called me up front and he started saying things that God was making me a father of many children. He said, you're not longer a child, you're being a father of many children. You know, I just thought it was just a preacher's way to get attention of somebody. I just walked away, and a few days later, I started having, I remember one dream I really remember clearly. I dreamed when I was in one of our houses, I shared it with Jean-Paul, and I heard voices crying, help, help. And when I walked outside to see where the kids were crying, I saw like a monster, and everything, the sky was like blood, and the monster came running to me, and I ran back to the room, and I really prayed to God, God, please help me. Then I felt like power lifting me all the way up. And I looked up, I could see like 3 angels. And down, I could see the monster waiting for me. And I kept crying to God, please help me disappear in heaven or somewhere so that I don't go back there. And instantly, I felt falling down on the ground. I looked around, I didn't see the monster. And those 3 people were with me. Then they took me in the room, showed me where there were like really bad kids dying, suffering, screaming, and they said, that's your job. They disappeared. And I shared it with Jean-Paul, and Jean-Paul will also share some of the things that really convinced him that God was calling him and the family to do this. He wanted to test my theory too, and he may be able to share that. And that's when we started. The reason we were hesitating to do this, we knew it's a very difficult job to do. We didn't feel really physically and mentally prepared to do this. Honestly, when somebody gives you the job, you start looking at how equipped you are, and we're not equipped at all. But because of that, we say, okay, God, we're good. We're going to do it. We don't know how, and we're just saying yes. That's when we started. I shared with Bruce. We went home in Rwanda. We got 1 child. He was living with my mother, and that's where we came from. From my mother's house. Then we built a house. We got more kids. We just from then on, we kept seeing God's hand working, doing things that we will never think about. And, God has been using the people that we will never be able to reach or explain. Basically, we're not explaining to convince you. When I'm talking all this, I'm just giving a testimony. It's not convincing you to, come and let's do this. It's a testimony of what God is doing. So basically, that's how the Umuryango started. We always felt like it's going to, God is up to something. We do not want to limit him. We do not want to rush into make giant to attract the public attention. We just want to move God's move and do what God shows us to do. And I think that we usually know where God wants to go from where we are by just seeing how he uses people like you. I would be maybe the wrong person to ask about the team that was there last year, but they can tell you from now. They communicate with some of the boys, and they do the newsletters, and they know where they left it just in a few months after they left, and what God has led them to do and to accomplish within the ministry. So we just want to follow however God leads your heart, and once you lay